Hey guys, what's going on? It's Garrett. I'm back over at Larry's shop, and I'm working on finishing up my motor mounts today for, well, the rear motor mounts and bell housing and all that good stuff. So I want to show you what I'm doing and kind of explain a little bit about it. You know, if you use a different bell housing, it'll be different for you, but here we go. So first thing you got to do is lay your stuff out. Now what I did is I took the original bell housing, I laid it down on the floor, and I marked both sides and the location of the bolt holes. You know, so I marked it here laying on the floor, and I marked where the bolt holes are, and I marked in the center so that I could line up, you know, basically where the crank is. And it may be a 1/4 inch off or whatnot. Really not enough to hurt anything. It's probably not even that much, maybe an 1/8. I did it on both sides, so you can see originally I intended to try to reuse the factory motor mount brackets, so that's why I marked things the way I did. But as it turns out, if you look at the way like this is how the original motor mount sat, I'm not going to be able to reuse these mounts because the distance from the back of the mount to the mounting flange is important, because I don't want the transmission sitting farther back. I don't want to have to cut my floor out, modify the jack shaft, or any of that. That's why I'm reusing the original transmission. All that, and it's a good transmission with the Waterloo kit. So here's the thing. If I was to try to reuse the original mounts, they would go like this, you know, because there's your marks, right? But look how much farther forward they sit from the flange. So what I would have to do is move it almost back like that much, which means you can't bolt that to it. And it's the same on the other side, and I'll show you that real quick. Now, mind you, with these bolted on, this surface will be flush up against right here. So, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. So, if we line this up right here, and then we bring it back to where it really needs to be, we're not even halfway on the mount. So, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to use a piece of this 3" by 3/4 and just cut out some feet, drill some holes, and what I'll do is I'll put the original mount on here where they need to be. I'll mark the bottom, and cut a piece of that off with the hole in it, the length it needs to be to get the hole in the right spot, and I'll weld it on there, and then a couple of gussets. And that'll be a complete motor mount instead of some cobbled together crap. And on the other side, what I'm going to do is take a piece of this that is long enough. I haven't measured it yet. I'm still doing this as I go. So that motor mount on this side dog legs back, as you remember. So I have to, instead of doing all this crap and dog legging it, I'm going to take another piece of that and weld it on right around in this area where it needs to be, wherever it falls, coming back here, and then another piece welded to this way with a couple of gussets too. So instead of just throwing a bunch of crap together to make it work, I'm actually going to build them. You know, I was hoping that things would fall right where I could just reuse those. It's not turning out that way because of bolt hole locations and spacing and what have you. So anyway, that also means I won't need this up top anymore to support the top of the motor mount, because I'm not going to be bolting that old one on. So I should be able to cut this off, make it look even cleaner, weld the other piece here. Yeah, it'll all turn out nice. So you know, when you're doing this, if you use a bell housing that puts the starter, you know, down here, or over here, flywheel housing. I still do that. I don't know why, it's just habit, I guess. You'll have to do something completely different. So, you know, no matter what, doing this swap, you're going to have to build motor mounts. Just wanted to show that to you today, give you an idea of what's going on with it. I just ordered a clutch. When I get all that in, when I get the right pilot bearing in, I'll show you what all I have to do with that, and that's coming soon. The clutch will be in next week. So keep an eye out, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.